This video is about monster hits and barrel hits. So I was trying to figure out how to do a variable for a monster or a barrel. You hit them so many times and then they blow up or die. And for the fake 3D games, I'm not sure how to do it. I've done it for my 2D like scroller games, like Mario type setup, and I'm able to do a variable where you hit the ball so many times and then he dies, or shows an effect after you hit him one time and then after so many hits he dies. Well, in fake 3D, for some reason it's not possible. I've tried it several different ways and it's not working. So I found a way how to do it, but it takes a little more extra steps in a way to achieve what you need to achieve to make it work. Okay, so let me show you. Alright, so I've lined up several different, let me turn off the sound. I've lined up several different items here so I can just grab them right away so I can go after the monsters. So you'll see in this video that you'll hit him so many times. So you hit him one time, he's going to make a sound, and then it's going to show blood, and then he's going to still come after you. You hit him so many times, shows blood again, and does the voice of getting hit, and then he'll finally die. So I'm going to turn the sound back on, and I'll show you what I'm talking about, and then I'll do the barrel hits as well, and then I'll explain it. Okay, so there you go. So you're able to hit the monster several times before he dies, and every time you hit him it shows blood splatter and he makes a sound, and then after so many hits it shows the animation of him dying. And I have a better animation of the monster dying, of course, right there. And even with the barrel hit, I have it flashing for a second and then it's going to go to, it'll explode. So let me just show you a couple things. One thing I probably didn't talk about in my last video was at the end of the room where you die, pretty much, I did add a sound effect. So up here there's a object dead SD, which means sound. So when that object dead SD sound, there's no object for that, no sprint, you don't need it, it's just a question mark basically when that happens. So you do the add event and you go to the crate and then you drop in the audio for the roar sound. So it's just right here in the main one tab. So it's just the roar sound from the monsters. And you loop it saying false, so it just plays one time. So just give it a little sound effect when you die. It does that roar sound. So that's the first thing that I didn't really talk about in my other video, which I added. One other thing that I did that I didn't see in the where you slide on the ice and you go directly to the wall, Before, you would slide on the ice and go directly to the wall, and you would slowly die. You know, lose like 3% health. But in this instance, when you hit the wall, you completely lose all your health, and that's in the player objects. So when he hits the wall, he loses 100%. So health minus equals 100%, semicolons. So when he hits the red wall there, when he slides on the ice, hits that red wall, he dies instantaneously. Before, it was set up to like 3, so you would slowly die when he hits that wall. So I want to make sure when he hits the wall, he's completely dead. So I changed it to 100%, 100 for the object player as well as for the object in player. And I know the object in player is not in the beginning part; he's in the second room. But I just copied everything over to be the exact same thing, just in case if you decide to have the hot wall in the second room or whatever, it's already there and taken care of. So I want to show that real quick, and it, set to self, of course. All right, now let's get to the monsters here. So each of these red, these all maroon color squares are. This is object monster hit _1. So each one is the same thing. It says object _monster hit 1. Okay, so, and the reason why I labeled that, because you're going to have to hit them 4 times. You see I have _1, _2, 3, and 4 for monster hit. So you have to hit him 4 times in order for him to until he finally dies. So there's only one box on here. Okay, but what happens is when you hit him that one time, he'll do the roar sound, and then it's going to delete this monster hit _1 box, and it's going to be replaced with monster hit _2. And you hit _2, and it goes to 3, and then 4, and then that's deleted _4, and then it goes to the monster 1 _dead. All right, so basically, this is how it's set up. So in the destroy location for the monster hit _1, you're going to have instance _create x, y, object _monster hit _2. So it's going to jump from object monster hit _1 to 2. And it's also going to do, you want to create the blood. So when he jumps to object monster _2, it's going to also do the blood. So in each of these maroon blocks, you have a sprint that's going to be the same thing. It's going to basically this object monster box is going to be projecting this monster here. Of course, he's going to be running towards you. Like I had originally. All right, and then when you hit him, then he's going to be destroyed. It's going to destroy that object. It's going to destroy the image, as well as, it's going to destroy it's going to basically destroy this box here, which has the sprint image in it, and it's going to switch to the hit 2 with the same image in it, the same sprint image. Then that's destroyed, it goes to 3, shows the same sprint image. Then that's destroyed, it goes to _4, shows the same sprint image. And when you hit that one, then it destroys that sprint image, and it replaces and goes to the dead image of the monster, which is him getting hit right here, and then he's fading away, and then it's completely, the opacity is completely at 0 here. Alright, so I completely changed the animation on that to make it look more realistic. Alright, and alright, so let me, alright, so it's going to go to Object Monster Hit 2, and it's going to also project the blood, which I didn't show you that. The blood is this text underscore blood here, and it does this splatter effect. Now, this blood here, I have it oozing out on the ends here, at the top and the bottoms here. I don't have anything in the middle here because it does kind of go behind the image when you hit him once, and I want to kind of make it look like it's in front of him or right on the sides of him, but since he's moving, the monster's moving when you're hitting him, then you also have to make the blood move with him as well, and I'll show you that in a minute. So like I said, it's destroying the monster block 1, and then it's jumping to monster block 2, and it's also going to create the blood, and then the blood's going to completely be destroyed after a timer goes off. All this information is the same. Okay. Same information. Alright, and then, okay, so in the blood, I don't have a sprint image for this. There's no, you don't need a box like the monster box. You don't need that. You can keep that no sprint. And then is it basically? Well, I'm sorry, this is wrong. This is the end. This is the. I'm sorry, I showed you this wrong. This is the audio for the ending. Let me go to the blood. Okay, so you do honestly need a block for the blood, but you don't have that on the stage. You just got to make an object for it. So all this information here is copied from the monster block. So the monster block, I copied it. Copied the var, the speed in which it's going to animate, and then the speed as this is basically the speed for, or probably it's probably more or less this is for the, could be this, I believe it's the speed for which the monster is traveling, as well as it's connected to the ground floor level. So I basically just copied these two vars and added it to the blood, and then I have an alarm set here. So alarm is going to be 10 milliseconds, then alarm 0 is going to kick in, and it's going to destroy the blood. So you hit the monster, and then he roars, and it shows the effect of the blood for a couple seconds, and then it gets destroyed. Then you hit him again, and it does a roar, and shows the blood. Okay, so in the also have, I copied the begin step. So this is important. So the begin step for the monster is how far, how he's in the distance here. He's traveling towards you. The point of distance, he's moving towards you. All that's copied for the blood as well, because you want the blood to travel with the monster, because if you hit the monster and the blood is just going to be static, it's going to be in the background, not moving, then you really will see the blood in the distance from where the monster was coming towards you. So you want to make sure that the blood is equal to the monster when he's traveling towards you. So if you don't have this begin step in here for the blood, then when you hit the monster, you'll see the blood in the background in the distance, and you'll see the monster real close to you, and you don't want that. You want to make sure that the blood is moving with the monster, because the monster is moving towards you, so you're going to have the blood travel the same speed as the monster. So that's what I did there. I kept it at the same speed, as which is the monsters coming towards you, it's the same speed for the blood. So that way it's equal to when you're hitting the monster, the blood is pretty much in the same spot as where the monster's at. So that's why I copied that code, because this code goes with the monster moving towards you, and so you want the same thing happening for the blood. You want to make sure that the blood is traveling with the monster, even though blood doesn't move, but it's going to have to move with the monster because the monster's moving. So if you don't have this code in here, then the blood's going to be in the background. You're not going to really see it. And you say, why is the blood way in the background when the monster's real close up toward me? Because it's not traveling with the monster, and it should be. And it's also, the blood's parented with the monster basics. That's more or less talking about it follows the same code as not hitting going inside the walls and all. So you need this object monster basics in here, because that's what the monster has. He has the object monster basics too, meaning that if he hits a wall, then he's not going to go through it. So the same thing with the blood. It's not going to go through the wall. It's going to go around it with the monster. So that's why you need a parented object basic wall, so he doesn't go through so the blood doesn't go through the wall. It goes around the wall when he hits up against it. So that applies well for the monster as well, of course. Then you have the draw in there, so it's going to draw the text underscore blood, and I've already talked about this before. You have to have this draw event in here, otherwise it won't show up on the screen. So the text underscore blood is what I just showed you with the animation of the blood happening, animating for a couple 10 milliseconds, and then just being destroyed. So like I said, the blood, I don't have it in the middle of the monster, animating out, just in case if it doesn't travel the same speed as the monster, then it's not going to look dumb. It's not going to look like it's not coming toward you or whatever. So I just kind of had the animation happen outside of the corners of where the monster's coming at you. Because I did see some kind of like glitch where it wasn't coming out from the center of him. So I kind of changed that and had the animation happen outside the corners of the monster instead of having it start in the middle of the monster. Because the animation was sometimes being glitchy where it would blink a couple times, like it would maybe behind the monster, it might be in front of the monster. So I didn't have the animation happen in the middle, just on the sides. And the depth's at minus 11, so it should have it in front of the monster. The monster's at minus 10. Alright, and then, so like I said, it keeps jumping down. So in this one, when you hit him the second time, it jumps to monster hit 3, and then it shows the blood, creates the blood, and then the blood's destroyed. And then when you hit the monster on the third time, it goes to, like I said, it goes to monster hit 4, shows the blood, and then after 4, when you hit them, then it's going to go to monster underscore dead, and then show the blood. So then it's going to show a different image of the monster, and then he's going to be destroyed. And in this instance here, I don't have the blood happening with the monster dead, because it's already showing blood already. It doesn't need to be more splattering of the blood. And because the blood is also moving with the monster, if I do the blood splatter on this monster, then the blood's going to be traveling toward the camera, and then the monster's going to be in the back just sitting there. Because in this situation, the monster's dead. He's just standing there. He's not moving towards you anymore. He's stopped. So if I had the blood splatter in there, the blood splatter would actually move towards you, and that wouldn't make sense. So it's already showing animation of blood anyways, so it's not, the extra image of the blood's not necessary. Alright, so after 27 milliseconds, it's going to be destroyed. And it's 27 milliseconds because I have so many frames of the animation of the monster being destroyed, I want to show all the animation frames, but I don't want it to repeat, so after 27 milliseconds it's going to be destroyed so it doesn't repeat. They only show it one time, the animation, and then it's going to be destroyed. And it's up to Object Monster Basics again, so it doesn't go through the walls. Alright, and then we're talking about the barrel. The barrel is going to be just this object barrel that's on the screen right here. And then when you do the destroy, it's going to actually go to object barrel hit 2. And that barrel hit 2 is going to be this explosion here. It blinks. Well, see, barrel hit 2 is going to, let's see, so it goes to barrel hit 2. So it's going to create barrel hit 2, which is this right here, and it's going to project that flashing which I just showed you. But it's on a timer, so after 5 milliseconds it's going to be destroyed. And it's also going to destroy your health at minus 20 if you are in close range with it. If you're in the distance and you're shooting with your weapon, then it's not going to hurt you. But if you have your weapon with your knife, then you will be hurt and lose 20% of your health. Then it's going to do the animation of the explosion. So then it jumps to the last barrel block, and it does, it does the explosion, and then it shows your face getting hit and all that stuff. And then it ends the animation of the barrel again exploding. And I think that's it. Let me just see one more thing with the object player. The gun weapon. Yeah, I think I showed you everything. So I'll leave this tutorial up for you guys to download. You can open this up and check it out and see how I did everything. But like I said, you have to. So if you want to do more than 4 monster hits, you can do that. You know what I'm saying? You can make. I just basically what I did was you can copy this. You can duplicate these. Right click and duplicate and make several of them, and you're not going to have any problem with it. It has the same sprint image. See, the same sprint name. So in this situation, it's okay to duplicate let's see. Yeah, so in this situation you can duplicate and you're not going to have any problems with the sprint image. I can't remember. I know there's one instance where you don't want to duplicate because you want to have a different sprint image. Because I know if you change the sprint image, it's going to change all these other sprint images the same name. So for dealing with the variable where you hit them once and it jumps to the next image, this is fine to duplicate them so you can get it done quicker. You could keep creating a new object and then copy all this information and put it in the next object, but that's time consuming. So it's in this situation it's best just to duplicate it as many times as you want, and before the bad guy's destroyed. But see, in this situation you wouldn't want to duplicate this and then change it to monster_dead because you want to have a different sprint image. Otherwise, if you change this one, it will change these two to the same image. Because you have a different image here for the dead monster compared to these other images here of the monster coming towards you.